Welcome back. What I'm doing now is I'm actually in the rebuilding process of the 9-inch rear gear assembly. What you'll see here is the ring gear attached to the carrier assembly. This is a single traction. It's not a positive traction unit. And here you'll see the pinion that came out of it, and you'll see the lower bearing. Over here is the various races and seals and bolts and the shim that came out of it, along with the seal. Seal was gone. So I'll go over the setup procedure that I use to set up a 9-inch housing. And I am changing the rear end ratio here. I'm going from a, from a 3.0 to a 325. Not much of a change, but it'll be enough to be noticeable. And I think with a 4-speed car, it'll fit it just right. You'll notice on these carriers there are 2 end caps that hold the adjuster right here and the outer race, on each side. And I'll pull these off. When you pull these off, you need to mark which one's which, and I've already indicated passenger side on that one. Pull the adjusters off. And the outer race. And then you can just lift this whole thing right out. Like I said, I've loosened these bolts up. I'll go ahead and take these bolts out, and then I'm gonna have to drive the ring gear actually off the carrier assembly. Now you see we've taken the ring gear off of the carrier assembly. And the next thing we'll do is we'll split this carrier assembly apart and remove these bearings with the press from each side and reinstall the new ones. Now we split the case open, you can see the spider gears inside. Thing I look for is wear on that, and it's pretty shiny, as you can tell. There's also a thrust washer here that has a little bit of wear on it, but it doesn't look that bad. I'm going to reassemble this because I don't see any overdue wear here. Anyway, I'm going to need this apart so I can press this bearing off and then press the other bearing on. Well, I have it broken down now, and there was a little bit of a surprise in there. Evidently the front main seal had leaked on this thing, and it had gone dry on lubricant. That's what I can pretty much surmise. But if you look at these, this is the cross shaft and the spider assembly. You can really see some gouging. Now you can tell from the grease on my hands, this is a dirty job, very dirty. But that has been worn, and when I run my finger over it, I can feel a catch. So I'm going to end up replacing this one. Same way here, you can see the end there. I don't know if it's focusing very clearly, but it's worn also, and the same way with this one. Everything else looks okay. Looking in the gear, looks kind of rough. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and replace all this, the whole block and center and everything. That's going to be the best way. Don't know how much it's going to cost. 4 9-inch parts tend to be a little on the expensive side, but you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, next thing you'll see is me replacing the bearings on the covers of the carrier assembly. Thanks. Okay, you didn't see this, and it wasn't really a pretty sight anyway, but it took some maneuvering to press the bearings off these. Same way, this side too. So everything looks fine here. No unusual wear. The only thing that will need to be replaced will be the cross shafts and the cross shaft and the half shaft and the spider gears. I'll probably keep these because these look fine right here. But I will be replacing the bearings. Already have that kit. Move that around. Bought a kit that's got everything in it, including replacement bolts, and I think a representative amount of shims to get the correct pinion depth. Anyway, I'll get this stuff ordered, and I'll also do videos of the installation of the bearings on top of these. One thing I will point out is that when you're pressing the bearings on, which is the easiest part, you still need to support this from underneath, because you put too much pressure on this, not so much on a single axle, but in a positive traction or a traction lock. They make this so thin to get the clutch packs in that too much pressure, you can end up cracking this. And this probably isn't that bad, but I'll still support it underneath when it's being pressed on. Anyway, that's the next step. Have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thanks. So this is as far as I've gotten today. I did press the bearings off right here, and I cleaned these up. I'm looking at my camera and I'm not looking at my hands. I pressed these up and cleaned them up, so they're ready to go. These I will be ordering. I'll probably reuse these. I'll pop these back. Pop the pinion snout bearing back in. And I'll probably get new ones of these cup washers too. We'll see. But everything's pretty much cleaned up and ready to go. We're ready to put the races in here, have to knock those in, and then we'll set the pinion bearing up and get the proper drag on that, and then we'll disassemble it and put the seal in. Anyway, I'll keep you informed as we go. Thanks for watching.